guys,
Lauren Daisy.
welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be my Jeff Hardy Deserves Better video. I said in my Royal Rumble video that I was going to film a Jeff Hardy Deserves Better video, and I don't even know how long it's been since my Royal Rumble video. Probably like over a month since that. So it's going to be called Jeff Hardy Deserves Better. So yeah, look out for that one because that's definitely coming. Yeah, and I mean, I still believe Jeff Hardy deserves better, so it's still relevant today. So these are the notes I made. It's going to be broken up into 5 sections, and I'm going to just leave the timestamps below. But the first one is going to be like statistics, so we're going to talk about like his win-loss rate, how long he was in the Rumble for, title reigns in terms of days and things like that. Also, all of this is since he's returned, so since 2017, but specifically since he returned from injury in 2020. So yeah, we're looking at probably about a year-ish time frame, maybe shorter than that. So yeah. 2 is going to be story things, so like his tag partners and rivalries since he's been back. 3 is figures and YouTube views, so basically just like where I feel like WWE still has there's like solid like proof that he is still popular and still an asset to the company. And then 4 is going to be like fan popularity and appeal in that sense rather than like the industry appeal. And then 5 is going to be what they could do with him going forward. So basically, Jeff is one of my favourite wrestlers of all time. When I first started watching wrestling, I would have been about 9, and he had already left. By the time I started watching SmackDown every week and Raw every week, Jeff had already left. So he left in, I think, August of 2009, and I started watching properly in like the first half of 2010. So I just found Jeff through old pay-per-views, like DVDs, YouTube clips, and the games. So being able to watch him on Raw every week is something that's really cool for me as a fan of his, because I didn't have that where I could just watch him wrestle live. It was always old clips and things. So that's really cool, and I feel like I don't really take that for granted. So even though I'm going to be like kind of having a bit of a go at WWE for how they're treating him right now and how they're booking him, I still love that I do get to see him on Raw every week, even if I'm not that happy with how WWE is treating him. But yeah, so I just wanted to put like a little disclaimer that I love Jeff and I love watching him on Raw, and just being able to see him back in WWE is really cool for me. And if WWE has some big thing planned for Jeff, and I eat my words, I will happily do that. If they're waiting for fans to be back, or I don't know, they've just got something planned that's coming up, then please prove me wrong. Okay, please prove me wrong. I would love that. We're going to start with statistics. So this is going to be since Jeff lost the Intercontinental title. So Jeff returned on SmackDown after his injury, and then had his whole feud thing, had his Intercontinental title run. So this is from when he lost the Intercontinental title and was drafted to Raw. Editing me just popping in. It's Monday, so Monday Night Raw is tonight. The statistics in this video are up to date as of Sunday the 14th of March, because I don't know what he's gonna be doing on Monday Night Raw this week. I hope he's on it. I filmed this video last Sunday, and then I was like, oh my god, like what's he gonna do on Raw? I'm gonna have to change the video. But no, he wasn't even on Raw, which was just more proof of the title of this video. He wasn't on Raw, he wasn't on Main Event, so that was a real shame. Another update, so Jeff wasn't on Raw this week either. So that's now 3 weeks with no Jeff matches and 2 weeks where he wasn't even on it at all. And he's not going to be on Main Event either, so What's happening? What's going on? I don't know, but yeah. The statistics are still... they still apply. Since then, Jeff has been in 24 matches and he's lost 18 of them. Yeah. Out of those 18, he's submitted 3 times, he's lost by disqualification twice, and he's been pinned 13 times. In his 6 wins, 2 of those were tag matches as well, so bear that in mind. We're looking at 4 solo wins here, and really 1 was also a DQ, so really we're looking at 3, let's be honest here. So yeah, 2 tag matches, 5 pins, and 1 he won by DQ, which was the Jackson Riker match, I think, or the Elias match. It was one of those 2. I don't understand why, because I understand the whole concept of bigger stars losing to smaller stars to try and put them over and to help further their career. I totally get that, but that's not what's happening here, in my opinion anyway. I don't understand what they're doing with him. I don't know if they just don't have something for him right now, but none of it makes any sense. He's losing to Jackson Riker. I mean, good lord. Like Elias, who he's already been in a feud with, Sheamus, who he's already been in a feud with. Like, they don't have a proper story for him. He was a lumberjack for the lumberjack match, which was just like, I mean, good lord. Jeff didn't even have a match on Raw, and when he does get a match, it's like usually in the middle of the show somewhere. As much as I love watching Jeff wrestle, and I think that, you know, they're still good matches, I still enjoy them, they're always very short. They don't have, yeah, any kind of like purpose in terms of storyline. He's not in a rivalry. I'm just sick of watching Raw and knowing that I'm going to see Jeff lose every week, and not for any kind of real purpose either. There's a special place in hell for Jeff's 2021 Royal Rumble booking. I was super excited to see him. I mean, the disappointment was all over my face in this whole thing, quite frankly. You can go back and watch it. I don't want him to get eliminated early. Where's Jeff? How's he doing? I hope he's doing okay. I'm so upset. First elimination? Are you fucking kidding me? Jeff Hardy deserves better. Yeah, he came out as number 5. He was in the Rumble for 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Now hold on. So that is like, I timed it from a second he got into the ring to when he was thrown out of the ring. 3 minutes and 25 seconds. But the time that he actually had in terms of screen time, so he came in, I think he did a Twist of Fate and a Whisper in the Wind, and yeah, he was on screen for actually 32 seconds out of that 3 minutes and 25 seconds. And then he was eliminated by Dolph Ziggler. He was the first elimination, and Dolph just came in and got rid of him, and I can't even tell you. I was just like, let's take a little trip down memory lane. So Jeff's first ever Rumble was 2001, and he came out as entrant number 1, and he was in there for 6 minutes and 36 seconds. Then in 2002 he was entrant number 10, and he was in there for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Okay, 2003 he was entrant 15, and he was in there for 7 minutes and 26 seconds. And then 2007 he was entrant number 14, and he was in there for 3 minutes and 38 seconds. And then 2019 he was number 24, and he was in there for 7 minutes and 5 seconds. Also, they interviewed Jeff. They had like this whole video of him declaring himself for the Rumble, and then I knew he wasn't gonna win it. Like, I knew he wasn't gonna win it, but I thought he would at least have like a good showing in it. And then they eliminated him that quickly. Full on jobber elimination, by the way. Just just a shambles really. They interviewed him before the Rumble as well, and he was like, I'm so excited for the Rumble and stuff. It's like, why do you go to all these like these lengths? And then that happened, and people were not happy either. Like, I was like, surely other people are talking about this, because this is just criminal. Like like what is going on here? Other people were saying the same thing. Jeff, I feel like, performs great in special matches, things like your elimination chambers, your rumbles, your, you know, and there's a ladder matches, all those kinds of like specialty matches. I feel like that's where he really gets to like shine and do cool things and have interesting match moments. Since coming back in 2017, Jeff has had 4 title reigns. So it's 4 title reigns in 4 years, which is like, I mean, some people don't get any, so that's that. The longest one was his US title reign, but that was only 90 days, which, I mean, do with that what you will. His next longest is his Raw tag team title reign, which was 64 days. Then his Intercontinental title reign was 37 days, and his SmackDown tag team title reign was 21 days. So I feel like we can do better than this. I'd love another title reign for him. I would really love to see him as WWE champion again, but I mean, I don't know if they'll do that. I've kind of lost hope on that, to be honest, but I think it would be so amazing. I think people would absolutely love it as well. 2. Let's go to stories. So tag partners since his return from injury, he's had Riddle, Ricochet, Carlito, and The New Day. The Carlito one was another one of the matches I really enjoyed, and that was one of his 6 wins. I thought it was great. I thought that was such a like fun dynamic there, but obviously Carlito isn't on like a long-term contract thing, so he's not coming back. And then Riddle was an interesting one actually. That whole the Hardy Bros thing, I kind of thought maybe that was going somewhere, but then it didn't. They just completely dropped it. I saw obviously Matt was like, had said that thing about what they're trying to do with the Hardy Bros, like they're just trying to recreate the Hardy Boys or something like that. And then it just disappeared after that. I don't know if that's why or something, but yeah, I kind of liked them together. I thought they were funny. I thought it was a kind of interesting little duo. It's not one I would have put together, but I thought it was kind of cool. And I did say at the time, I was like, I feel like they could take this somewhere, but I feel like they're gonna do Riddle as US champion, and I said that a few weeks ago. And then obviously he won it at Elimination Chamber, so I feel like that's properly dead in the water now. And then Ricochet, I love Ricochet. Ricochet is another person that I feel like deserves better. I see him on Main Event all the time, and whenever he does come onto Raw, I love it. I love him. I think he's so talented, and I feel like they would be a great tag team. I watched them on Main Event together, which the fact that twice I've had to watch Jeff on Main Event, not to like shit all over Main Event, because Main Event's good, like nothing against it, but like Jeff Hardy on Main Event, I mean, just like really, they were a great little tag team. Ricochet even tweeted as well, I'll like put it here, he tweeted, he was like, should we go for like the tag championships or something? Yes please, I would love to see it. I think they made a great little duo. And they make sense as well as like a tag team. I feel like they could make sense. I don't know about their name or anything like that, but like their wrestling styles, and I don't know, I just feel like they work. And then The New Day was also like, it was like him, Riddle, and New Day, like all teaming up together. And I loved that. But it was great. Kofi and Xavier like dancing to Jeff's music, and then in the Elimination Chamber Kofi was dancing to Jeff's music again. I love them. I've always loved Kofi since I was watching it like back in 2010. I've always loved him, so that was cool, but obviously he's not gonna like join The New Day. but I did think they were cool, and they like matched all their colours. Like he matched his face paint to their gear and stuff. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. Rivalry since he's returned. He's only had 3. So that's 3 rivals in a year. It's AJ Styles / Sami Zayn sort of. Sheamus and Elias. I enjoyed them all at the time. So Sheamus was Jeff's first rivalry when he came back to SmackDown. I just don't understand, okay? Maybe this is just me, but I don't understand why Jeff's rivalries always have to centre around his personal struggles. I get, I feel like bringing real life into storylines can work really well, especially when you're playing off of emotions that are very real, and they can fit well into storylines, you know, we've seen it before. But I don't understand why it has to be every single one. Like, I feel like every rivalry I've ever seen Jeff in is based on the fact that he lives a different lifestyle, and he, you know, lives the wild life and like all this kind of stuff. CM Punk, MVP, Sheamus, like, I don't really understand why it has to be that every single time. I don't know. I mean, obviously I don't know Jeff. I don't know if he is like, yeah, this is great, like, let's keep doing this. I assume he must for that, or I don't know if maybe he like doesn't appreciate it in secret. Who knows? But I just feel like there's so much more they could do with Jeff, just with the gimmick, or just himself, I guess. I feel like, I don't know how much, I feel like we see a lot of Jeff just in who he is in WWE rather than like a true like gimmick. He's very artsy and creative, and I feel like people love him too, and I feel like there's so many different ways you could go with that, so many different things he could be doing rather than just drink driving, drugs, like just constantly bringing those things up. And you know, that's his life, that's the reality, is that he has had those problems in the past. I don't know, I just feel like it's like they're making that into like who Jeff Hardy is, rather than that being an aspect of his life in a way. As there have been a lot of wrestlers who have had struggles like that, personal, like, I don't know, you want to call them like scandals or whatever, like have been arrested, have gotten into trouble in certain areas in their life, and they don't bring it up all the time. It's just like, that's not the only thing that he can do, that's not the only thing there is about Jeff Hardy that is worth putting on TV. So that was that whole thing with Sheamus. I thought it was fine. I enjoyed the rivalry, I liked the bar match, and that, so that was like fine. But again, I was just a bit like, this same story again, okay. I feel like Jeff has more potential than this, and I don't know why do we insist on just doing the same things. But anyway, and then after that it was the AJ Styles one, which was pretty cool. And then after that we had Elias. Him and Elias hitting each other with the guitars. I actually really liked it. I know some people thought it was getting a bit repetitive. And then obviously they had their Symphony of Destruction match, and it was all because like Elias thought Jeff hit him with his gar, which is just like bringing it back to that same story again. And then they had the Symphony of Destruction match, and I thought that was it. I thought we were done with that. But no, then it was him and Elias again having like some matches together, and I was like, this is kind of weird. Why are they revisiting an old rivalry that was like done? And it was all about the universal truth or something, but they seem to have dropped that as well now. So 3, we're going to talk about some figures. I I love stuff like this. I'm such a like, I don't know, I like numbers. I mean, I like maths, but like, I just find stuff like this really interesting. So I went back and I was like, because I collect Jeff's figures, I have loads of them. This one I just got. I'm gonna do a video on like a figure haul of figures I've gotten recently, but this guy I just got and I literally love him so much. I was kind of like, they're releasing a lot of Jeff figures lately. There's the Jeff and Undertaker double pack, there's the new Triple H and Jeff Hardy double pack, there's obviously the Jeff Elite and the Jeff Chase, and then the basics Jeff that's coming out as well. So I was like, love it, obviously, but I was kind of like, they're making lots of figures for Jeff, so Jeff must obviously be a popular figure, and he is on Ringside Collectibles. He's made it into the top 10 sellers of that week quite a few times. So why are they not booking him like he deserves to be booked, and why are they not giving him proper rivalries and storylines when he's obviously a fan favorite? Because they still keep making figures of him. He has merch on the website, like good merch. They have like a good amount of stuff for him on there. So I believe that he makes them money. I do. Because why would they keep making Jeff figures if Jeff figures don't sell, right? This is a lot of figures for someone that you don't really book that much. So I wanted to see how many Jeff figures have been made since he returned in 2017. Bearing in mind, he's been injured twice since then. 4 years, 2 injuries, and yet this is how many figures he has, okay? So since 2017, he's had 23 figures made of him. So that's 23 figures in 4 years. And really, it's 23 figures in 3 years. Well, it's 22 figures in 3 years, because the only figure that was released in 2017 was like this like battle pack thing. So I'm pretty sure there's only one figure that was actually released in 2017, and then so it's 22 figures between 2018 and 2021, which is a lot. So out of those, there's been 8 solo elites, 2 are like chase variants of those other ones. If you want to get technical about it, I guess it's technically 6, but they still have to produce the chase ones as well. So anyway, 7 multi-packs, 5 solo basics, and 3 are from other collections. One was retro zombies, and then the entrance great one, which I have. So that's a lot of figures. Obviously you kind of use the argument of, well, they haven't been able to make Jeff figures for the past what would that be, 8 years, so they want to make loads of them and make money off of them now that they have him back. I get that, but also at the same time you have Jeff Hardy back, so why are you not like booking him well? If you know there's a demand for him in terms of figures and in terms of merch, then obviously there's a demand for him in terms of wrestling as well. I looked up some other superstars to compare. So since Jeff's 23 figures, so we're looking at that chunk of figures from the same, like across the same time period, Kofi Kingston has had 14 figures in the time frame that Jeff has had 23. Daniel Bryan has had 15, Randy Orton has had 12, so Jeff's had double the amount, almost double the amount of figures that Randy has had in that time. The Miz has had 10, and he was literally WWE champion last week, but he's only got 10, he's only had 10 figures in, call it 3 years. And then Sheamus, who Jeff lost to last week, has only had 7 in 3 years. I didn't include Funko Pops or like the plush figure things or like the little bobble like collectible things, nothing. So then we're going to talk about YouTube views. We're just going to run through some of the heavy hitters, okay? The Hardy Boys return has 40 million views. Jeff's Raw return in 2006 has 5.5 million views. I don't even think that was on the WWE channel either. Like, I think that was just uploaded by someone else and it still got that many views. Jeff's Raw return in 2018 got 7.4 million views. Jeff just being drafted to SmackDown in 2018 got 4.5 million views. Jeff's WWE Championship entrance has 5.3 million views. Jeff's top 10s, he has a titles one which has 6.8 million views, and a top 10 dives one which has 11 million views. And then Jeff's there's a video of Jeff just applying his face paint. It's like a sped up version that's on the WWE official channel, and that has 10 million views, and the video is like a minute and a half. I see it all the time in the comments when they post photos and stuff on like Instagram. I see it in the comments all the time. Jeff deserves better. Stop treating Jeff like a jobber, like all this stuff. It's clear that fans want to see him more and want to see him in better stories, but it's just not happening. I don't understand why. I liked that he was involved in the Elimination Chamber. I thought that was very cool. I love seeing Jeff in the Elimination Chamber. I knew he wasn't going to win it because here's the thing. High flyers, if you want to call them that, don't win Elimination Chambers. They don't. It's a fact, okay? Just go back through the years. High flyers have never won the Elimination Chamber. I'm not including tag teams because obviously John Morrison and The Miz have won and the New Day have won, so that includes Kofi. That doesn't count to me. I'm talking about solo wins. High flyers do not win Elimination Chambers. They are there to make them more interesting, to do the big spots, to jump off of shit. That's what they're there for. They don't let them win it ever. We're talking like Kofi's, John Morrison's, Jeff Hardy's, Rey Mysterio's. That's what we're talking. They don't win Elimination Chambers. So I already knew he wasn't going to win it. I thought it was cool that he was involved. But they wanted him to do the cool spots, which he did. I thought it was great. I loved seeing him in it. He entered first, was like him and Randy were in there first, and he was eliminated third. I would have liked to see him in the final 3, but he was in the final 4, so that was still cool. This was his 4th Elimination Chamber as well. In his first one, at No Way Out 2008, he entered 6th and he was in the final 2 with Triple H. That's one of my all-time favourite Elimination Chambers. I've seen it so many times. And everybody wanted Jeff to win that Elimination Chamber. People, like, when Jeff's in the Elimination Chamber, people are like cheering for him before he's even come out. Like during the other matches, when it's just like 2 random people in the ring, 3 random people in the ring, people are cheering for Jeff while he's still in his pod. No Way Out 2009, another one of my favourite Elimination Chambers. He entered first and he was in the final 3 with Triple H and The Undertaker. And then Elimination Chamber 2019 was not as bad as the 2021 Royal Rumble, but it was pretty damn close. So he entered 5th and was eliminated 2nd. He was literally in there for no time at all. But of course they got him to jump off something cool because that's what they do with the high flyers in the Elimination Chamber. I'm not bitter, it's fine. I thought that was a cool opportunity, but at the same time I don't think it really spoke to how WWE values him, because he does cool stuff in the chamber. That's his match. I can't believe I can believe he's never won one because high flyers don't win them, but he always shows up. It's like Kofi, it's like John Morrison, Ray, they do the cool moments. They give you those big wow, oh my god, I can't believe he's going to do that moments, and then they get eliminated. So I wasn't surprised, but I did still enjoy seeing him in the Elimination Chamber. It's kind of like a take what you can get type situation, being a Jeff fan at the moment. So I'll hold my hands up there. That was pretty cool. Now 4, we're going to go for fan popularity and appeal. So Jeff, for me, I think is great in terms of fan appeal. He always has been. They were talking about it on the table for 3, well, table for 4, with Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys, about how Jeff just has a connection with the fans that you can't teach people. He can't sell it, you can't buy it, he just has it. Fans love him, and they always have done. Just shown by like his returns. Every time Jeff returns, he gets a huge crowd pop when he comes out during Royal Rumbles, in the Elimination Chamber, whatever it is. People love to see Jeff. They love him. He's always had that connection with fans and that ability to win them over, and they have been there throughout everything. And I think that speaks so much to not only who Jeff is, but the power of his, not even gimmick, because again I feel like we see a lot of who Jeff really is in his like wrestling persona, or whatever you want to call it. And people love him. It's hard to like obviously judge now with the Thunderdome. I can't be like, oh, like, you know, when he returned he got this huge crowd pop because it was the Thunderdome, but he trends on Twitter a lot. I see him all the time. People are actively saying how they want to see Jeff more, how they feel like he's not being treated right by WWE. People think he should go to AEW. I personally don't think he should go to AEW. I like watching him on Raw. I just want WWE to do better with him. I think after everything he's given to the company, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And I think it would be nice to see him kind of end his career there as well, which I think is what he wants to do when I've seen interviews and stuff before. I'd love to see him get another title reign before that. But yeah, I think he has a great fan appeal. He always has. I think he appeals to all ages. He appeals to older fans that have been watching since the 90s. Jeff's been around a long time. He didn't debut that long after The Undertaker. I think he debuted in 1994. So he's been around a long time. Yeah, not all of it was in WWE. I can, you know, I get that, but he's been wrestling a long time, and he gave a lot of years to WWE from, I think it was 1994, but I could be wrong about that, maybe 1993, to 2003, and then from 2006 to 2009, and now from 2017 to now. And I think because of that, that gives him a great range in terms of audience. You have, like I said, you have fans from the 90s that love Jeff and have kind of seen him blossom as a wrestler. You have people from the Attitude Era, obviously, that like love him, and the Hardy Boys and that whole thing. And then you have, he was even there for like the very start of the Ruthless Aggression era as well. And the brand split, his solo thing, the match with Undertaker and Jeff. It's one of my favourite matches of all time, not even just Jeff Hardy matches. It's iconic. Obviously Jeff leaves in 2003, but then between 2006 and 2009 you get that new transition into the PG era, almost, and you get newer fans, younger fans, you know, a lot more kids were starting to watch WWE at that time as well. I specifically think of like Jeff and his Intercontinental title run. We went from standard definition to HD. Jeff was there as well. His feud with Punk, you know, his WWE Championship reign. People lived for when Jeff was the WWE Champion. Like, they'd waited so long to see him be the WWE Champion, and I genuinely believe that people would love to see it again. And then obviously he leaves in 2009 and then comes back in 2017. 40 million views, huge pop. I think even a reaction to them returning has like 3 million views on YouTube. So now he's part of the new WWE, and the fans that watch it now love him as well. You've got such a huge audience there and a huge fan base. People love him from their childhoods or from their, you know, adulthood, their teen years. People love him now. People loved him then. I forgot to mention Cyber Sunday, so I just wanted to add that in. So in Cyber Sunday 2007, Jeff got 31% of the votes. It was between him,
Shawn Michaels and someone else, I can't remember, but Jeff ended up getting 31% of the votes for that, which was pretty good because I'm pretty sure that Shawn ended up getting like 59 or something. So yeah. And Shawn, here's the thing, every time that Shawn has been a part of Cyber Sunday, he always wins. He's a fan favourite and he always wins. So the fact that Jeff still got a pretty good showing when he was up against Shawn, I feel like still shows his fan popularity. And then the next year, Cyber Sunday 2008, Jeff got 57% of the votes. So it was for the WWE Championship, both ones were, so the WWE Championship, and it was him or Vladimir, or a triple threat between the three of them and Triple H. So Jeff got 57% of the votes for just him, and then 38% of the votes were for the triple threat. So if you want to add those up together, then that's quite a few votes for Jeff. So yeah, I just thought I'd like throw that in there because that's obviously like a fan voted thing.
Yeah, so I feel like Jeff just has such a wide appeal and such a big fan base, and I don't know why they really aren't using that and recognizing that people want to see him. Number 5 now, what they should do with Jeff. We're just gonna jump right straight to it. So even taking what he has and using it to better someone else, like Ricochet. I feel like, not make Ricochet better because Ricochet's great, but I mean like that would be so cool to see them in a tag team together, and for him to help build up Ricochet and then, you know, maybe win the tag team titles together, something like that. I feel like that would be amazing if they didn't want to put Jeff in a solo title picture. I don't know why, but anyway, I feel like Jeff could be WWE champion again. I really do. With the right story, I think it could be amazing. Or like the Universal, the Intercontinental, United States, like anything, I feel like would be amazing to see for him again. I really love the idea of them bringing Willow into WWE. I think that would be awesome. I don't really know how it works. He like did that in TNA. I don't know if they like own the rights to it or something like that. But that would be amazing to see that gimmick, maybe like against the Fiend or something like that, like Willow versus the Fiend. I mean, can you even imagine? It would be amazing. You know, like those big stories, those like ones where you're just like, this is amazing, rather than just Jeff's in these kind of like one-off matches. And like seeing him at the Elimination Chamber was cool, and seeing him at the Rumble was cool, but it was only for like 3 minutes. Like, he's not getting matches at pay-per-views, and I don't know why. I'm gonna put how many pay-per-views has happened since he returned in 2020 and how many he's been in, because yeah, I just feel like there's so much more they could do there. Whether it is putting him in a tag team and going for the tag team titles or solo titles, I just feel like, even if it's not a title, just the rivalries and the stories that he could have could be so amazing, and I don't know why WWE isn't doing that. I want to see him in main events, I want to see him at pay-per-views, I want to see him in title pictures, I want to see him in great rivalries because I love him and I know that he can do those things so amazing and people want to see it. And he's just great. He's just great. I'm not gonna like get into a whole rant about how much I love Jeff and like how talented and everything I think that he is, because that could be a whole video in itself. But basically, Jeff Hardy deserves better. He does, and I hope that he gets that. I hope that we listen to the fans and give him that push and that storybook ending to his career. And that's my video for today. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Hopefully something will happen. Like I said, I will happily eat my words if WWE gives him this huge storyline. I'll love it. I will definitely love it, and I will go back on everything I've said. But they'll just have to prove me wrong. I need to see it to believe it type thing. So yeah, bye.